Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Dadia. We have with us Anish Rankawat, research analyst at Nirmal Institutional Equities, joining in. Welcome to the show, Anish. Anish, clearly, if you go to see, uh, if you have to talk about the November auto sales numbers, there has been growth and the demand continues to remain healthy. What's your overall assessment if you have to take the last 2 to 3 months into consideration?
Right. Hi, Hiral. So, continuing the trend of year-on-year growth, we've seen November numbers also growing on a year-on-year basis, but sequentially they've come off obviously because there's no requirement of the inventory filling anymore in November, at least in the second half or the later two-third of the month. So I think that's the reason why it has come off on a sequential basis, but still it's strong, barring three-wheelers and MHCVs. So all the segments have done well on a year-on-year basis, and tractors continue to surprise us positively. So we were just under 50% growth expectations, and the number was more than that, especially for M&M, the largest player there. So again, the trend is pretty much the same. Tractors doing or taking is in the lead with this recovery cycle, followed by passenger vehicles led by Maruti Suzuki and Hyundai and even Kia, followed by two-wheelers, and that's I think the pecking order right now. So it is continuing the trend. If you want to give reasons why we are still seeing good demand, is firstly the pent up demand is still there,
Mm,
especially looking at what is happening in passenger vehicles and seeing that urban regions, the activity levels were pretty low for the first 5 6 months. A lot of pent up demand, and terms like revenge shopping and all, these are surfacing. So I think that's probably the bigger drivers of passenger vehicles per se. For two wheelers, again, I mean, rural remains strong, and in regions where public transport is restricted, or is used at lower capacity, and wherever the public transport is not that available or that prominent,
mm.
two wheelers is getting more traction over there. So that's probably the reason why two wheelers are also doing well. Yeah. So, and tractors again, I mean, rural side is pretty strong. Farmers have cash in hand.
Mm.
The seasons are looking good. The last couple of seasons have been very good. So I think all in all, rural side of the story remains intact, and I see that it to be helping the sector for some more time actually. So
And
that's
Anish,
in a nutshell.
so overall, do you think this is something which is going to be sustainable from here on? Because clearly, this is a consequence of a pent up demand. Plus, you had a good festive demand and the upcoming wedding season. Beyond these three, do you think the demand will sustain?
See, I mean, it all depends on how the economy will shape up. So even in third quarter, I think the estimates are of a negative
Mm,
GDP growth, and then coming on to fourth quarter as well, I think at best we can have a flattish kind of a GDP on a year-on-year basis. So it all depends how the GDP will shape up, how we are going to see the vaccine situation getting improved, how fast it can come to us, and all. I think these are the triggers which will drive growth beyond this pent up demand that we are seeing, which according to Maruti is still sustaining. So yesterday, Mr. Bhargava gave statements to Bloomberg saying that the demand seems to be strong even after the festive. So December month should be good. But I think most of the OEMs don't have any visibility beyond, say January, February time. So I
mm.
think it will all depend on how this pandemic situation, the vaccine situation, and the economy will shape up. So that probably would be the triggers going forward.
Right. Overall, if you go to see, especially in the passenger vehicle segment right now, do you think there is a demand supply mismatch that could be happening, taking into consideration that there were some production issues that were faced by some PVs?
There were some comments that in November there were some production issues. So I mean, as if you talk about production issues in last say 4 5 months,
Mm,
someone like M&M would be impacted in a higher manner compared to the others because of higher diesel portfolio. Now
mm,
BS6 conversion diesel had a lot of import content, so those substituting them after all the restrictions on the import side has taken time, and I think November is probably a month where we see something in a normalized range where what M&M has been producing. So November probably would be the month where and even in the press release you see company didn't mention about production constraints,
mm,
which they have been doing in last 5 6 months. So M&M per se, it seems like that's behind us. Maruti, we've had some news from different sources saying that there could be some production issues, but
mm.
it seems with Mr. Bhargava's comment that they are running at 100%, so it doesn't look like they have any production constraints again. So talking about these big guys, and then you have Hyundai and Kia, they are anyways clocking good numbers. So
Right.
don't see any issues over there as well. So I don't think there's much of a production constraint remaining
Mm.
here on.
Right. And apart from that, another thing is that we don't see a lot of confidence oozing out of the two-wheeler companies as well. It's a pretty mixed commentary that we've been hearing. What
Hmm.
do you make out of it?
Now, the commentaries that we are getting, especially coming from Bajaj management uh, on the commuter segment, has been a little negative. But on the other side, from Hero, which is the market leader with about say 60-65% kind of a market share,
Mm,
the commentary is exactly opposite. So Hero said in the entire festival period they've sold just above 14 lakh vehicles,
mm,
which is down about say 4% on a year-on-year basis, and the base is pretty high. It's probably all-time high base.
mm,
So it looks like a good number comparatively, but Bajaj is saying that overall. So if you look at see festivals, I did some of my own research from Vahan data,
mm,
and the 32-day period plus 7 days to consider all the registration lag that would have happened, seems two-wheelers are down say 10-11% on the registration
mm,
side.
mm,
So Vahan data covers about say 85 to 88% of the RTOs in India. So considering that, now Hero has been registering better growth rate compared to industry, and they've been gaining market share as well as per the registration data. So it seems Hero is doing better, which in essence implies that commuter segment is not that bad
mm,
as what Bajaj is stating. So it seems maybe Bajaj is losing share there and Hero is gaining. So that's what my take is on the motorcycles or two-wheeler segment. Scooters are struggling. That's why HMSI has not come back in that big way. But again, if November numbers, the numbers were up, I think, if I'm not wrong, around 11% or so.
mm.
So it seems like even HMSI is recovering. So even scooters are coming back slowly, steadily.
Right. So overall, if you have to look at the entire auto segment as a whole, from PVs to two-wheelers to tractors, CVs and three-wheelers, which would your preference be in terms of stocks right now?
So I think it's not difficult to say that tractors will be the favorite going forward as well. I think rural segment will continue to do well. The forecast for this year are 10% growth, even after what we've seen, what happened in say April, May. For the whole industry, we are talking about 10% growth. So after 1 year, I mean, last year was a degrowth, and FY19 was the best ever year in terms of tractors. So we'll probably be somewhere around the best year for this year end. Now, going forward as well, I think the cues are positive enough. So tractors remain favorite. The next is, I think two-wheelers stocks are trading cheaper compared to passenger vehicle stocks. Now, passenger vehicles have been seeing good demand, but if you look at, say, Hero YTD number is down about, say,
Mm.
18-19%, but Maruti is down about, say, 23%. So comparatively, two-wheelers have done well this year so far, and the valuations look cheaper comparatively. So I think Bajaj and Hero probably should be preferred. Bajaj, again, the exports are really strong, and Hero, the commuter segment, in my sense, is doing well and should do well going forward as well. And then obviously you have the passenger vehicles, and the CVs after that. CV, I think, will see a big recovery coming probably next quarter onwards.
Mm.
Um, so I think if you want to catch the cycle before everyone else does, you should probably look at the CV segment as well now, from now onwards.
From here on. Absolutely. I mean, that could be an early bird catch that we could see as well. Thank you, Anish, so much for joining us on the show. Thank you for sharing those insights, and hopefully the trend continues and is sustainable from here on as well. Thank you so much, and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.